depending on what your offer strategy is, but if you start running your offers that early, like you're likely going to leave some of the sort of cultural hype demand moment of the BFCM time period on the table. So try to have something around an organic product oriented moment over the course of October that is people buying because it's a new cool thing, but it's a full price rather than people buying for an offer, right?
This episode of the e-commerce playbook is brought to you by Prophit. Whether you're running paid ads on Meta, Google, or TikTok, Prophit can help you increase your conversion rates without touching your website. They help you save time by generating high converting landing pages in minutes using AI and boost your ROI growth with built-in A/B testing and real-time optimization. Prophit offers seamless integration with your ad platforms and Shopify checkout, so you can create custom post-click experiences without designers or developers. Over 500 brands have scaled their e-commerce business with Prophit, improving their conversion rates by an average of 30%. Go to Prophit.com/CTC today and sign up for your exclusive 7-day trial. That's FERMAT.com/CTC.
Hey folks, welcome to the DTC Hotline. This is your direct connection to hot takes, to cold truths, and to real e-com advice from some of the best in the biz. I'm your host, Richard the Professor Gaffin. Call or text 866-DTC-2263. Get those burning e-com questions answered. Again, that's 866-382-2263. You can leave a voicemail. You can shoot us a text. Whatever's easier. Ask whatever's on your mind DTC-wise. Our operators are standing by. And speaking of which, operator number one, he's ready to go. Tony the Chopper Chop. Tony, what's going on, man?
I'm locked and loaded, Richard. I told you I had some McDonald's breakfast, which is like a rare treat for me, but I was just feeling the case of like, hey, let's go for it. This morning, a big cup of coffee and a sausage McMuffin. I'm ready.
Hell yeah. I'm loving it. I'll say that much. All right. And our other operator here, operator number two, Luke Austin, the weatherman himself. Luke, what's going on, man?
I did not start out with a McDonald's breakfast. That's a very risky way to start out a day.
Yeah,
I think that's the secret, right? It's like you take the risk at the beginning of the day, and then after that, you just feel unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not so much that it'll give you energy. It's just that the fact that you overcame it will give you the confidence to sort of crush the day, right?
Yes. Like I did what I wanted to, and it was only positive. And the world's my oyster now.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of confidence, Luke without a hat. This is the first time I think I've ever seen you on a podcast without a hat. In person, maybe, but I mean, it's been a long time. What was with the choice today?
So I cut it.
Cut the hair.
Yeah. And now I've had very long hair and have worn a hat pretty much exclusively for the past year and a half. And so now with this level of hair length, even if you're waking up multiple times a night with a newborn and roll out of bed in the morning, you can just rock it. No hat.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly why I do and don't wear a hat. So if you see me with one, it's because I haven't gotten my hair cut in too long. And if you see without one, it's because I just did. But
yeah,
not everyone can have such sculpted hair as Mr. Tony Chop. What is your secret, by the way, Tony?
McDonald's breakfast.
I guess so. All right. With that, we'll jump right into it, folks. You know what we're here for? We're here to answer your e-com questions. These two guys are full of McDonald's / they just got a haircut, so they're ready to go. We have two kind of longer ones with sort of multiple questions here, so we'll jump into it right now. Here's our first one. This guy's having a little bit of fun, but let's give it a listen.
Hey, DTC Hotline, is this thing on? DTC Hotline, is this thing on? Calling in as an e-commerce brand operator who has consistently seen new customer revenue and volume decline year over year for the last couple of years. And the other problem I'm facing is new customer profitability, and I'm trying to decide what I should prioritize, if not both. Do I want to continue to see my new customer revenue decline, but ensure that my new customer cohorts are profitable, or should I push harder for flat new customer revenue or ideally new customer revenue growth at the expense of that new customer cohort profitability? Thanks so much, and looking forward to hearing back from you and the team.
All right.
Well, I don't think you really have a choice, right, Luke? I mean, the new customer file can only shrink so far, and then it's zero.
Yeah, I think in these conversations, there's always going to be some short-term trade-off in terms of the profitability against the longer term objective. So I think the core question in any of these conversations is, what is the time window in which you are trying to maximize profitability? If it is 2 months from now through the end of the year for whatever that event might look like, then potentially it's not the right move. And the level of investment to be able to bridge the new customer revenue and start to see growth there is going to be a hindrance to that. Likely it's not that short of a time frame in terms of the business objective and what you're after, and it's over the next year, 2, 3, 5 years that we're really looking to grow the business. In which case, you have to have that purview, because there is going to be that short-term pain for long-term gain in terms of the impact of that customer cohort. So it is the customer cohort that is going to require the most investment, and it is going to take an investment over a period of time to get the new customer growth back to a place where it sets you up for a trajectory in a longer time period for where the business wants to be. That needs to be clear to everyone. The time period in which you're needing to maximize profitability needs to be fully agreed on. And then from there, you can start to align on what the specific strategy against it should be. But that is going to be the case. Everyone needs to be on board. Otherwise, you start to enact whatever strategy you aligned on. And a week in, 2 weeks in, start to see, things are a little tighter. The MER is a little lower. The A cost is a little higher. This is, how long is this going to continue for? Let's pull back so we can round out the month at the EBITDA number. There's going to be a short-term impact.
And one thing I want to add too is, like, when you're talking about investing into the business, that doesn't necessarily have to mean media dollars. Mm-hmm. So if the caller's calling and talking about what sounds like a multi-year trend of new customer files shrinking, I'm assuming you've tried many, many media tactics and probably offer strategies, et cetera, and the investment that you are probably need to be making is in product development. And what are you actually selling to the market potentially? What do you think about that, Luke, as a way to think about sort of pairing with your idea about when are you trying to maximize this return that you're making over what timeline? And if your timeline is, like, let's just say hypothetically, let's say you're operating on a 5 or potentially 10-year timeline, or maybe this is a business that you're not planning to exit necessarily, but planning to maintain ownership and use it as your source of income, that might be a totally different type of investment.
Totally.
into what you're selling.
Yeah, and I think it's important in the context of those questions and that exercise to understand what the goal is and what time horizon. Because if you're really and then sort of bucket each of the investment activities relative to that exercise. Like, for an example, maybe, okay, we're going to make an investment over the next month. So the classic one, right? Like ahead of Q4, we're going to fill the funnel in September. So we're going to make an additional investment. We're going to increase our ad budgets, 20% what they normally would be, or 15% into these upper funnel channels, CTV, podcast, and we're going to make additional creative investment as well, so that this next month's going to take a hit, but then the next 2 months following are going to be really strong, right? Or Q4 is going to be really strong as a result. So that's one bucket of activities that's like sort of plus up your media spend plus creative investment, immediate creative investment. There's another bucket of investments, which is like, we're going to develop a whole new product category. And that is going to be a thing over the next several months that we're going to work on, collaboration with other brands. That's a larger investment from a financial standpoint and has a longer time horizon, but the potential impact of it is much greater as well, right? And then you can go down the line as well of like, we're going to build out an organic affiliate strategy. We're doing product seeding and build out our own in-house creator network. And we have all these, and it's going to be the next 3 months to capture that. But it's important, again, the time horizon and the amount of gap, because if it's like the business over the next 5 years, we're wanting to see a dramatically different outcome than we are currently, then the like plus up the media spend and churn out 50 more creatives this month is like, that's going to like get you closer to the next couple months numbers, but that's not a big enough swing to get there, right? So that's why getting clarity on the gap is so important as the first step, because the activities that result from that are going to live in completely different categories of investment and time horizon.
It sets the rules of the game.
Yeah.
And they can be dramatically different depending on if you're operating on we're trying to exit this business in 18 months versus this is what we're going to do for the next 10 years of our life.
Yep.
Or whatever.
So part of it sounds like it's like the time horizon that our caller is speaking about speaks to a larger problem than simply a matter of like how you're allocating media dollars or whatever. That at least sounds like it's kind of like the fundamental kind of basis of some of your answers here. Is that more or less a good summary?
Yeah, I wish these callers would call in too, so we could like ask them questions.
Do
And
something live.
Let's see, is Richard, let's see if we can get some real live interaction, because we have some all of these things like need follow-up questions.
Right.
'Cause there's like media sort of questions like how much UGC style creator content are you working through your media accounts? Like, how good is your signal throughout all your media ecosystem? What exploration have you done past can sort of really low funnel conversion optimized campaigns? Like, have you tried to stretch up into a little bit more awareness? What is the brand's premise and the audience that you're trying to reach, and where are those people in the world? Like, other than obviously they're on Meta and social channels, but where does your customer exist and spend their time, and what's the story you're trying to tell them, and how can we get that in front of them?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's a good point. Maybe we put together a live call-in show at some point here just to get folks to so they can actually answer some of these questions back, because we can sort of speak in broader brushstrokes, which is like that kind of like the rubric of at least saying like the time frame over which this has been happening, which is a couple of years. That suggests that there's a specific type of issue that we can speak to. But yeah, definitely being able to dig into the specifics of what you're doing would be helpful for that. So
it sort of suggests to me, if that is the case, it sort of suggests to me like that a couple years ago the brand had something that was working, and they haven't had a lot of innovation since then. That's kind of like would be my guess.
Yeah, makes a ton of sense. All right, anything else you guys want to hit on this one?
No. I'm good.
All right. Sounds like, all right, let's move on to our next voicemail here. So there's a couple more questions in, but let's roll here.
Hey guys, just wanted to start off by saying I love what y'all are doing with the DTC Hotline. Q4 is quickly approaching us, and I have a few questions centered around creative promotions, structure, and timing. First, what creative themes do you guys recommend for Q4? Gift guides, bundles, promos? When thinking about promotions, is it best to test offers, ahead of BFCM? How do you, structure a warm-up campaign to build out that remarketing pool before BFCM? And lastly, how early should we start running holiday-specific creative? Any oversight here would be greatly appreciated. Again, love what you guys are doing over here. And cheers.
All right. It's a number of questions in there, but primarily breaking down, like, generally speaking, our approach to BFCM. So where do you guys want to start?
I mean, there's a couple of principles that I think are really important. So number one, if there's any point at all ever in the year where you want to make some investments in media that are not 100% conversion focused, where you're intentionally trying to reach closely connected people, like, so maybe it's an add to cart campaign, maybe it's a lead gen campaign, maybe it's anything that stretches out your reach. Now is the time to do it, for sure. That's like premise number one. And to this kind of connects to the previous question about like the time horizon and how you're thinking about operating. Under most circumstances, we're very rigorous about operating to a contribution margin outcome on a daily basis. If there's ever a time where you want to stretch your wings a little bit, spread out your investment, it is leading up into this cultural buying moment. The other premise, and Luke, I've heard you talk about this a bunch of times, and I think the idea of having offers throughout Black Friday and Cyber Monday that have some differentiation, but that stack in a way that's part of the normal behavior that consumers expect. So, for example, the Cyber Monday offer being larger, more attractive than the Black Friday offer. We've seen folks do this really well over the years. And then the other piece of the puzzle is, for me, I think the offer testing and offer design is not something that you're going to figure out right now on October 1st. Hopefully you have some ideas about what works for your audience and where you want to go. I'm always a big fan of trying different ways to capture perception of value. So gift with purchase is like the obvious example, but it's not the only way. Bundles are another great way to put value together. All that's going to do when you think about gift with purchase or bundles is potentially allow you to have a higher AOV, allow you to run with a more aggressive media targets and push more volume in this moment in time. Make the investment now, stack your offers, bundle, gift with purchase.
Still sending people from email, SMS, or direct mail to the same old product pages? It's time to level up with Format's AI landing page and PDP builder. In just minutes, you can spin up personalized landing pages and PDPs for every channel, from email campaigns to QR codes and direct mail to paid ads. No designer, no developer, no waiting around. And that's just the start. With Format, you can A/B test every funnel, customize experiences by audience, and track performance across all your channels, all in one sleek dashboard. Now here's the kicker. Most people think Format is just for ads, but actually 80% of our customers use it in email, direct mail, and every place they need a landing page that works harder. Try it yourself, free for 7 days. Head to format.com/CTC or just click the first link in the description.
Now, so do you look? Because I know like you've had some perspective, like you kind of alluded to, Tony, around this sort of differences structurally that you might want to have between your Black Friday and your Cyber Monday offer, that type of thing. So what offers specifically, maybe like what are we thinking this year?
So I think there's two camps you could be in. One is like be very thoughtful and have a story, a narrative that you bring your consumers in that spans September through December, and into the new year. Or the other one, just run your best offer ever and hammer it as hard as you can over the course of the time period. And candidly, I think that decision is more brand specific. Like, I don't think there's like do the like very thoughtful sort of storytelling, because the challenge is it's sort of where our perspective on multi-touch attribution tools comes into play, which is the consumer journey is not linear. Like, it's not like you have a group of 10% of your customers interact with each of your channels in this specific way every time. Everyone has a unique journey. And so the reality is, whatever your grand master plan for call it September through December looks like in terms of your offer strategy and creative and media plan, et cetera, consumers are going to feel it in a really different way individually, right? Like, no one is going to come in and go down every single step in every single channel in that way and interact with every offer. Now, there is something very real about the consumer demand at different points in time, right? And just the sort of like cultural moments that Black Friday, Cyber Monday create, that holiday gifting around Christmas creates, and then even into Boxing Day and then into the new year. Like, there's real sort of like cultural expectations and demand where like even if you run your best offer and you run it beginning of November, it's not going to do as well as it will Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just because of the moment and people holding out for that time period, which is what Tony's alluding to, which is really important to consider in these decisions. So given that exists, high level tends to be a lot of folks sort of on the line, right? Like sort of just like waiting, kind of like prior to Q4 on the line, and that spans into October to some time period. And then late October, so call it like second half of October into the back half of the month, is when people really start to ramp up into holiday specific messaging, not offer strategy, but holiday specific messaging around a holiday collection or holiday styles or winter styles, catalog, etc. And then that will go into your early November sort of pre Black Friday, Cyber Monday early bird offers that then wraps up into Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So the broad strokes is you want some marketing message and the creative against the marketing message, and then the distribution on the media channels that capitalizes on each one of those moments, which is you need something unique in September to early October that helps to get people interested in your brand for some reason, so that when you get to holiday, they're aware of who you are in some context. And that's why you see a lot of brands do giveaways during that time period. It's why you see a lot of brands engage in larger influencer strategies and do upper funnel media buys. I think that's a very brand specific question, but get some engagement of those people on the line to be some unique way. Then into October, ideally you have some sort of holiday specific scent of your candle or scent of your deodorant or style of your shirt that you're launching that like that is a holiday specific things, because people are starting to talk pumpkin and PSL and s'mores are everywhere. So like you need something to speak to the styles of the season and the sense of the season starting in October. Then November, it's like end of October, beginning of November is when the offers start coming to play. And ideally those ramp up into Cyber Monday as the culmination. Now, if you're a really heavy gifting brand, your December might be bigger. So this is like caveat for that. But you need to think about where's the focal point, where's the peak, the highest peak in this whole trajectory, whether it be Cyber Monday or December 15th prior to gifting. And then what is the sequence to be able to ramp up to that period, which is better and better offers, but likely less optionality is like sort of the two levers that you have to pull in the context of this, right? You're going to get a better offer later, but you likely will have less selection available in terms of the sizes or the colors or the scents available to you. That's the decision you have to make. So you're going to get 20% off now and you can choose from anything, but 2 weeks from now, you're going to get 35% off everything, but there won't be as much in stock, right? And so those are the levers to play with, the specific offers and the functionality and the messaging, and whether it's buy two, get one, or whether it's a gift with purchase, whatever, like those can all be sort of more brand specific, but something unique to speak to and get customers' interest in the brand in September, an offer, the creative relative to it, holiday specific catalog collection, new product launch around October timing, and then ramp up in November to your peak through the levers of higher offer, less optionality, vice versa.
Right. So, I mean, like to then kind of go back to our specifics of our caller's question, because there were a lot of questions within this one question about like how early should we start running holiday specific creative. So in a sense, it sounds like essentially October, but it would be around these sort of like seasonal specific product drops, like that type of thing.
Yes. Yeah. In most cases, because if you start running depending on what your offer strategy is, but if you start running your offers that early, like you're likely going to leave some of the sort of cultural hype demand moment of the BFCM time period on the table. So try to have something around an organic product oriented moment over the course of October that is people buying because it's a new cool thing, but it's a full price rather than people buying for an offer, right?
Yeah. So wait, one other thing I wanted to call out here too was his question around like how do you structure or warm up campaigns to build out that remarketing pool before BFCM? So it sounds like what he's getting into here is like a little bit more on the tactical side, which again, maybe he's barking up the wrong tree there, but what he's kind of like pushing for is like, yeah, so how do you kind of shift the structure of the account leading into that period?
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't close the loop. To be clear, and me closing the loop would be, don't think about any of that stuff. Think about this mapping of the thing, because the way you're filling up the remarketing bucket in that way is you have some specific offer in the form of giveaway or a big influencer campaign or whatever it might be that gets people interested in your brand for some specific reason, and you have creative map to that, and that's what's running your account. Those are people that are getting interested in your brand for some reason, not specific to an offer, that then will be there when an offer comes around later on, not related to the account structure that you're running. Now, the only thing I'd add into this, and from numbers standpoint, is your AMER target will likely be lower in September than it will be in November, and it probably should. I'm trying to think of what caveats there would be to that rule, and that way you're being more aggressive on acquisition because of the payback, and you have a lower discount rate, all of those things. So that would be sort of from a financial and metric standpoint, the thing that you likely would look at.
Yeah. Now, Tony, I did see you sort of nodding your head a little bit when I was talking about account structure. Do you differ in some way to this, or are you roughly on the same page?
No, I mean, we're saying the same thing, just in different ways. I have a question for you all. Right now, do you have any Black Friday, Cyber Monday purchase ideas in your heads?
No, not at all. I mean, other than like certain things that I'm interested in buying, but I haven't thought as far as like, I'm going to wait to buy this for later, I guess.
Yeah. So I do, but it's actually not specific things, but it's brands. Mm-hmm. It's brands that I'm getting introduced to, and I'm experiencing their products in social, and I have like a little list. And go ahead and good luck attributing that. Have fun to the point of like, your multi-touch attribution software is whatever. So this is kind of like the like in parallel with what Luke's saying. Luke's saying like have something to talk about at this moment in time. My only twist to it would be Luke said maybe be a little generous with your AMER target over the next 60-ish days, which I agree with. If there's a time to go and have something to talk about and try to cast a little bit wider net, you're going to reach people like me who are poking around looking for ideas, and then we're going to come and find you on Black Friday. I'm going to come and look for these brands on Black Friday, probably through a Google brand search.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's like there's a certain, an inability to kind of understand the ways in which this kind of awareness marketing right now is going to play into the season in a little bit. So I think like it would be helpful to move away from these sort of generalities into specifics of like, what are examples of brands that you've seen do this well? And I'm talking specifically about what you're talking about, Tony, like making yourself familiar over this the September, October period of time.
Yeah. I mean, Gustin keeps hitting me with this t-shirt ad that I'm like, I'm going to go buy this, of course, like it's an 8-pack. Okay. So what was I talking about before? Bundles, 8-pack of t-shirts. They look great. It's the picture is like beautiful. And now I wrote it down. I have a little list. I write down the brands, Gustin. I knew about that before, but they made it into my Black Friday, Cyber Monday sort of idea category for my dad, because he loves t-shirts and he wears
there you go,
boring ones. So I'm gonna give him an 8-pack of pretty colored ones.
There's got to be some tool out there that you can do this. Like it helps you curate your list. Like here's all the brands I'm interested in, and then suggest the right times to buy based on the offer strategy, based on last year's email cadence and offers they had live. And like, okay, Gusted buy on Thursday night before Black Friday, Cyber Monday on their VIP email list. Okay,
we should build this. This is good.
It's got to be out. It's got to be out there.
You want to know the thing I'm most excited about in the whole world? I think is Shopify. It's got a thing going on with OpenAI, and they're going to build a universal cart. So meaning that I can cruise around the internet and add stuff to my cart, and it's like a universal shopping cart everywhere. And I don't know why somebody's never built this before, but apparently. The way that I dream that it's going to work is like I'm going to talk to GPT and I'd be like, hey, I want to build this shopping list for my, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I want to know when the best deals are. Help me figure that out. And it's going to hook API style into Shopify's back end. And like the cart is going to exist in GPT as opposed to it being a cart on somebody's website or on Amazon or whatever else. Everything's going to change with commerce. Not to get too like crazy for everybody, but it's all going to be different.
We haven't made it to hot take corner yet.
Okay, feed. So Tony, feed your list, your Black Friday Cyber list to ChatGPT. See if it'll give you the playbook based on last year's strategy. Like what days to buy to get the best deals on all the things. I bet it'll give you really good.
Well, you know the truth of this answer. It's best deals are the last point in the thing, but but the trade-off is selection. So if you pull the trigger like early in the week, like before Thanksgiving, you're going to get the good selection. But if you want the absolute best price, it's wait until Monday. But as are most things in life, it's not a one or the other. It's a decide and go. So I'll probably do all my shopping on. I usually don't like to wait until Cyber Monday for whatever reason. I get a little bit of anxiety around the out of stock thing. So I'm a Friday morning kind of guy.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had you pinned as a Thursday, as a Thanksgiving guy, honestly. I don't know why, but.
Were you once upon a time a Black Friday camper?
Camper? No, I never did that. No.
Just the e-com space, huh? All right. Well, I think like on that note, this might be a good time for us to take a little pivot to hot take corner, just because it sounds like obviously Tony's already predicting that everything's going to change. So that's something, but let's go to you first, Luke. You got a hot take for us?
Everyone should switch to template only emails rather than HTML coded emails prior to Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
So unpack that a little bit.
There are cases where Brands are customizing their email output via HTML and coding each individual email. It takes a lot more time. There's more complexity and more room for error as well, etc. There's a lot. Typically, the draw is there's more customization. Like it's like a headless site. Like, okay, I can do all these unique things, but there's a trade-off in terms of the production timing and the functionality. And I haven't seen the trade-off to be worth it in either case, headless websites or HTML coded emails, where the speed and the dependability of a template email where it's drag and drop in a design is just the right decision for most brands. So having that in place prior to the holiday rush could give you a leg up.
All right, I like that. No, that's a solid hot take. So those brands who are holding on to their custom templates or whatever, or like their HTML coded, throw that out the window. Go get your Klaviyo template or whatever.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it for the one email a month that you want to do that one wacky thing with, and you want the customizable capability. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yep.
No one notices it.
I love it. All right, Tony, what you got?
Now go do all your stuff, make all your offers and all your special creative, but your evergreen ads, whatever ad is the biggest spending ad in your account right now, is likely to be the largest spending ad in your account for Black Friday and Cyber Monday as well.
That's right.
Yeah, that was going to be the one. I was going to say something along the lines of like, don't make any Black Friday Cyber Monday ads. Like, just make creator content. Like, make lo-fi video with creators and just put your offer on your website.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, quick and dirty. It does it, I think, for this, because everybody, you're not convincing anybody of anything, I think, on Black Friday is maybe a good way to put it, right? Like, they're already there to buy, so you might as well put it in front of them as quickly and cheaply as possible. Is that a fair summary of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Luke and I are both saying is like complexity is the enemy. It really is. And the more simple you can execute, the more you can focus on getting your message out in front of potential customers. And the more sort of different you can do that with creative that speaks to different people, the better off you're going to be.
Love it. All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. I will, as always, leave one non-e-commerce hot take with you, which is that cars should be illegal in the downtowns of most American cities. Every city should be like Disneyland. It would be more fun that way. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. If you have any questions, and if you want them answered on the pod, you can call us, leave us a voicemail, 866-DTC 2263. You can shoot us a text there as well if that you would prefer to answer or ask a question that way. And we might read your question on a subsequent episode. Now, we also may have a live call-in coming up later. We will let you know, of course, if that's happening. But in the meantime, for Tony the Chopper Chop and Luke the Weatherman Austin, I'm Richard the Professor Gaffin, signing off. Take care, everyone. We will see you next time.